John mentioned that if he had to buy digital, he would get the PC version as it is the better experience overall, but also stated that there are nuances. I'd like to hear John's take on some of these nuances, as I myself continuously struggle between what platform to purchase a game on, especially with the trend of games being patched months after release. There would understandably and most likely be no new coverage from DF, as most of you would likely have moved on to new projects. Appreciate the insight! Exclamation point. And yeah, he actually wrote out exclamation point and then wrote, there you go, Rich, I did it for you. Smiley. John, he wants to know about the nuances.
Yeah, this is tricky. So it kind of, there's a lot of factors that come into play when I'm deciding how I want to play a game and on which platform. So for a game that is likely to be, let's look at last year, something like Sonic Frontiers, right? That comes out, it's 60 FPS capped even on PC. It's good on the consoles as well. In my case, I would say I'll go for a PlayStation 5 disc version of the game. That's like this, for me, that's probably that's the way I went with it, right? Rather than any other version. And that's, so any game that's good on consoles and not really that different on PC, I'm likely to just go for a disc version. And because of, with the Xbox situation and the way discs are going on that, I will typically go with a PS5 version because I'd rather get the disc version of that, unless of course it's bad on PS5 and good on Xbox, then I would get, a disc Xbox version. But in cases where you have like a high-end game that sometimes you have a game that's like okay on consoles, but like amazing on PC, I would probably play it day one on PC and play through that version. And then years later, or like sometime later, if I see a cheap console copy, I might then pick up a disc version just to have that as an aside if in the future or whatever. Though on PC, arguably as well, because it's an open platform, even if there are issues eventually with these store places disappearing, I still feel confident that I can sort of access those games through other means in a way that I don't feel with consoles. So I don't like to buy full price digital games on consoles for that reason, because they can basically be taken away from you at any point. I feel like whether that happens or not, who can say, but the chance exists. And because of DRM, it's a legit concern. PC, it's not so much a concern in general. So, and in some cases, I won't even bother with a console version like Cyberpunk, for instance. Like the console version is just, it's such a downgrade from what I can experience on PC that it's one of those cases where I just kind of shrug and say, I got the GOG version of it, right? Or play the GOG DRM free version, update that, and that's the best experience you can get with that game. And that's the only way I've played Cyberpunk. I mean, I've tested it on consoles, but I wouldn't actually play it on consoles, right?
Yeah.
So, and then in cases of like really smaller indie style games that run well on everything, I might go for a Switch version. Because I like those little cartridges and it's portable, and there's definitely cases where a game is perfectly awesome on Switch and you don't see that much of a difference or benefit from going for an upper platform version, right? Especially with pixel art stuff, it's just like, whatever. So that's some of the calculations I make when deciding where I want to play a game, I guess you could say. Sometimes I do weird things, like I got a PS5 copy of Armored Core 6 physical version because I saw it on sale, but I've actually been mainly playing it on PC with mouse and keyboard and 120 frames per second. So yeah, it's kind of up or down, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. There are a lot of nuances then.
And also, for some games, they actually get another disc release later down the line. It's like polished up, more content, everything's in there. Those are ones I would definitely collect, like the Horizon Forbidden West release that's coming up. That is a physical game I would like to have because it's going to have all the patches, the DLCs in there, everything's in there. It's 2 discs. Like that's the full package on a disc. And I think that's worth getting and owning. And I will get that.
Okay. I think that's perfectly clear and perfectly fine.
Sounds reasonable to
the
me.
next question.